Hey, and welcome to the Chef's Table, a weekly video series for culinary entrepreneurs who want to monetize their skills outside of the kitchen. I'm your host, Chef Evelyn. This is the place for successful women who want to live, cook, and work on their own terms. So if that's you, let's get started. Hey, and welcome back to another episode of the Chef's Table. I am Chef Evelyn, and I am a culinary brand strategist that is committed to helping women live, cook, and work on their own terms by teaching them how to build a high-end culinary brand from scratch. And in this video, I thought that I would share with you why I chose to go down the route of building a high-end culinary brand. Because if you've watched any of my videos before, or maybe this is your first time here, and if it's your first time here, welcome, then you know that you can have a successful culinary brand that's not a high-end brand, right? So I'm not one of those coaches or consultants that's going to tell you that if you don't do it my way, you're not going to be successful. That's actually not true. You can be successful in business in a myriad of different ways. But I want to share with you why I personally chose the route of a high-end culinary brand when I, really got my business on track, and why I have decided to teach others how to do a high-end culinary brand. Now, if you know me, you know that typically when I do these videos, I have, my notes and things like that. But today I just really wanted to share so that you could really get an understanding on why I'm so passionate about building a high-end culinary brand, why I create these videos, specifically for women chefpreneurs. And so let's get into it. So it's just going to be kind of like a little girl chat between you and I about why I wanted to build a high-end culinary brand. So the first thing is that, if you don't know this about me, I'm a former chemical and environmental engineer. So I went to college for chemical and environmental engineering, and I worked in corporate America for several years before going to culinary school and ultimately leaving that career to, follow my passion for food full time. And here's the thing. One of the reasons why I went into engineering is because everybody told me that, I was good at math and science and that I would make a lot of money as a minority woman engineer. So I was like, sounds good to me. If the whole reason you go to college is to get a career, and I thought, well, you get a career so you can make money. So if I'm going to make a lot of money, then let me do this thing. It comes easy to me, and why not, right? And so that is the route that I went. And so because of that, with working for a Fortune 50 company and being upwardly mobile and, having that kind of career, like, I was used to a certain standard of living, right? I grew up a certain way. I was making a certain amount of money, and I knew that I wanted to, turn my passion into my profession, but I also didn't want to sacrifice my lifestyle. And I think the challenge that I was running into was that all of the options that were presented to me at the time, or that I could find to be in food, not even being an entrepreneur, just employee or entrepreneur, there was some level of trade-off that if you wanted to make the income, then you were definitely going to have to sacrifice your lifestyle. Or if you didn't want to sacrifice your lifestyle, then you were definitely going to have to sacrifice your income. And I'm the kind of person that I like to embrace the and. I want this and I want that, right? How can I have both? And I really didn't see that option there. Everything there was about working in a restaurant or a hotel, or if I wanted to be an entrepreneur, it's about being a catering company or doing like meal prep. And can I be honest, like, none of that was sexy to me. Like, I definitely didn't want to work in a restaurant or hotel. I didn't want to work nights, weekends, and holidays. I didn't want to be there till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I didn't want to participate in the culture that I saw was amongst a lot of people who live that lifestyle. Not everyone, but I did not desire that. I was a young woman. Like, look at me. Can you see me in a restaurant till 2 o'clock in the morning every week? Like, I was a young woman, wanting to have a social life, wanting to date, wanting to, still be a woman, but I enjoy food. And so I was thinking to myself, like, okay, well, that's not an option. But then also, because I had been in corporate America, I knew that I didn't want to be an employee, right? So I knew that I wanted to have control over my time. I knew that I wanted to be able to directly impact my own income. That, I had been in roles where despite how good my results were, that, you know, everybody was trying to get a piece of the pie, and so this was all that was left for raises. Or if you didn't have enough, you know, tenure with the company, like there was all of these dynamics that I personally wasn't satisfied with. It doesn't mean that they were bad. It's just that I was like, if I put an X amount of effort, I want to be directly compensated for the amount of value that I'm bringing. And I didn't feel like I was having that experience in corporate America, right? That someone else always had control over my earning potential. You know, oh, you're at the top of the range for this role and we're not going to pay anymore for this role. And I would just remember thinking, but my results are going way past this role. And so things like that, like I really wanted to have direct influence over that. That if I was going to be spending a significant portion of my life, of my day, of my week, of my year after year, I wanted to be compensated for that. And I also really wanted to control my time. You know, I didn't enjoy having to ask for permission to take off or go on vacation and being told, you know, there's 52 weeks in the year, but you get 2 or 3 or 4, right? I was thinking out of 52, like 10% is 5. You know what I mean? Like, you're telling me I can't even be off for 10% of the year. And so, for me, it was just super important. And I, you know, there was blackout seasons, you know, when I would work, and I, you know, where it's like you couldn't take off at all during that time. And I just remember missing out on life events, missing out on certain people in my family growing up, you know, missing out on experiences. And I was just like, what's the point of working if I can't do the things that I want to do that make life worth living? So I remember kind of feeling stuck and being like, well, what are my options here? Because I don't want to stay in engineering, and but I don't want to do this traditional route. So I started studying all different types of industries until I found a way to make a brand that encompassed all that I wanted, right? And can I also say this? I wanted to be fully expressed as a woman. You know, I was working in food manufacturing as an engineer, and wearing, you know, khaki pants and polo shirts and steel toe boots and goggles and hairnets. And I was just like not loving it. And then even when I became a culinary employee, right, I was in non-skid shoes, you know, the checkered or black pants and the super hot chef coat and this. And I was just like, you know, this isn't it for me either. Like, y'all, I'm in plant print, and I've got flowers and plants all in the background, and my nails are done. I'm a very feminine, girly woman in that way. And I remember, and it's so small, and I think if you've been watching me any amount of time, you've heard me talk about this before. The straw was I had bought this really pretty pink nail polish called Pinkalicious. I can't remember the brand, but I do remember the name. And I think I had this nail polish for about 2 years, and I never could wear it. Because I was working in food manufacturing, I couldn't wear it. I was working in kitchens, I couldn't wear it. And I didn't even have breaks that were long enough that even being like, okay, yes, obviously I'm not gonna wear nail polish when I'm with food, but I didn't even have breaks long enough that warranted me painting my nails. And I remember something so small as me wanting to wear nail polish was like the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, there were bigger things that kind of got me there, but I think the final thing was I was like, I'm not myself. I want to be myself. I want to be me fully. I want to live the way I want to live. I want to cook the way I want to cook. And I want to work the way I want to work. And so when I say live, cook, and work in your own terms, that's not some catchy tagline. That is what I experienced. That is what I had to work through. I knew I didn't want to work on the holidays. I got tired of working during the major holidays when everybody else was with their families and celebrating. I'm like, that's why I got into food in the first place, because I loved bringing people together and feeding them on the occasions. But nobody really ever said, well, if you go this route, then you're going to be giving that up and you won't be able to participate. And so that just was unacceptable for me. I was unavailable for that. And so I took several years to build a high-end culinary brand that I was like, I need, you know, income streams that are more passive than others. so that I don't have to be in the kitchen all the time. As much as I love to cook, it's not sustainable to be in the kitchen all the time. I need more than one income stream, right, to be able to generate the kind of revenue that I want to generate. And I need a model that works with the fact that I want to be able to work when I want to work and from where I want to work. So if I want to be at home with my family in my hometown, or here, or on vacation, or semi on vacation, or just traveling, or whatever, I wanted to be able to do that. And so with that being said, that is why I chose a high-end culinary brand, because I think a lot of times when people hear the phrase high-end culinary brand, they think pricing, and that is a piece of it. But in order to get all those things that I wanted, there are some structures I had to put in place. Pricing is just one of them, right? Multiple streams of income is just one of them. There's so many other pieces and strategies and systems and process that I had to put in place to be able to build something like that, right? And that's what I teach my clients in the Chef's Table experience, is like all the pieces that I had to put together to be able to create and operate this brand that allowed me those things, right? So what I have built over the years is not by just happenstance. It's definitely took time of systematic and research and testing and things like that. And so I tell my clients, we spend our time together building that out custom to what they want, right? Because they may not want the same things that I want, or maybe they may not want them in the way that I wanted them, but they wanted something similar. So for me, that's why I built a high-end culinary brand. It's not just about the charging the premium prices, but it's about the fact that bringing in that kind of income that gives me options. And I wanted options. I wanted time freedom. I wanted location freedom. I wanted creative freedom. I wanted to be fully expressed. I wanted lifestyle freedom. I wanted to work the way I wanted to work, and being an employee didn't allow me to do that. And a traditional culinary brand didn't allow me to do that. So you can be financially successful with any kind of brand you choose, but if you are drawn to the things that I was drawn to, that is why I built a high-end culinary brand. So I know this wasn't like a super like teachy, you know, here's 5 tips for this or 5 things for that, but I hope that it really helps you get clear on what's important to you. It may not be a high-end culinary brand. You may say, you know what, I don't want to invest the resources, the money, the time that it takes to build a high-end culinary brand, because it is an investment, right? If you want a certain return, you have to have a certain level of investment of energy, time, discipline, financially, margin, all that kind of stuff to be able to do that. And if you're not there right now, that's fine. But if you are there, or you're like, it doesn't matter, I'm going to be there, then I would invite you to apply for the Chef's Table, where I can help you build this thing right, so that you can get the version of your living and cooking and working on your terms that you want, that's custom designed around your life. And I'm just here to give you the structure and the systems and the strategies to be able to do it. So if that's you, the link to apply is in the description box of this video. And make sure that you have joined the Chefpreneur Society, because once a month I will be going live, doing the Chef's Table live, but you have to be a part of the community in order to have access to that live. And I love it because it's like these videos, but a little bit more in depth, and there's time for Q&A, and you do not want to miss out on that. So if you are interested in that, make sure you go to chefevelyn.com/society, and I will see you there. Peace. Now, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so that you never miss a new episode. And to see what I'm cooking up behind the scenes, make sure to follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Chef Evelyn. That's all for today, and I'll see you next week. Peace.